Let's start with a lead code problem, flatten nested list iterator. So this is a pretty simple problem, and in this problem we have a nested list, and this nested list could contain integer or a list. It could also contain inner list, like the item of the list could be a list or an integer, then again could be a list, can integer. So there are many nested elements could be there in the nested list. In this problem we have to design a nested iterator, okay? And there are three functions on the nested iterator. One is the constructor and other two is the next and hasNext. We have to design those functions. So the computer can test with this pseudocode, okay? Iterator.hasNext, they can just iterate all the nodes. The solution of this problem is pretty simple. Like, we have the nested list as an input. If we can make those nested elements as a flatten element, then those next and hasNext uh, could easily be solved the nested iterator issue. Let's see how we can do that. So you can get an animation solution for this. Like, we have a nested array here. What we do, we are iterating the array as a depth first search, and we are getting the elements, each element in each iterations. Yeah, you can see the 7 was there, and this is the nested list. There is a list, then inside the list there is another list. So what happens first is uh, it execute the list, then inside the list it trying to execute the inner elements like 2 and 6. One thing we need to like consider for this solution is the inputs, the number serial should be like from left to right, okay? Like the output should be like 9 4 3 7 2, so to the end could be like this. So how we can implement this iterator? Like, we need to flatten the nested list. How could I do this? For doing this, we can follow this simple example. Let's say, let's go back to the code, okay? So in the code, first we will declare an integer. So this integer array will contain all the flatten array element. This will not contain any nested things, okay? So all the nested things, we will calculate something and make it as a flatten array. That's it. For that, we'll create a function flatten list, and in the flatten list, what we did, we'll iterate the nested list and check each element if it is an integer. If it is an integer, then we'll add it on the flatten integer array. If not, or if the nested array element is not an integer, it is a list, then we call the flatten list function recursively, and that will look like this. So this is a like a list, and this list is called again with the flatten function, so it will flat somehow, and all those elements will be added in the flat integer array at the end of the iteration, okay? So now nothing left, just we have to implement the next and hasNext functions. That is pretty simple. I think we need a position variable for this. So we have declared a position variable. Now we just need the design the next function to get the next integer, and we need to design the hasNext function also. That's pretty it. Thank you.